Thank you, Matt. Well, this should be a lot of fun, a category that's so popular back home. And speaking of popular, hello, Greg Murphy.
G'day, Chad. How's things, mate?
Very, very good. Very happy to be here. We're looking forward to seeing one of the Aussies in the field. Will be off the front row. I'm talking about Chris Walton, but keep an eye out for Chris Handley, winner of race number 1.
Chris Handley's been pretty dominant so far in this championship, and even though this is not for points, he's showing that form and continuing that form this weekend.
Yeah, he was quickest in the only practice session, was the number 1 qualifier, and then went and won the earlier race that happened today. But the good news is we get to see him come from further down in the field because it's a random draw, this grid, so he will be at the back. Keep an eye out for Chris Walton. He's off the front row, right of screen. Car number 6, Rookie of the Year last year in our Australian Utes series. And with a front row start, he'll be looking to convert. He actually started off the back row in race 1 and pushed through to 4th. So that's pretty good news for him. He's found a bit of car speed. Must be tough to come all the way from Australia and only have a 20-minute session here and there to get used to the track.
Yeah, there's not too many corners at Pukekohe Race Park, but it's still tricky. There's a lot of bumps here. We talk about the character of the circuit, how bumpy it is. Certainly turn 1, entry to turn 1, through turn 1. A couple of big curbs. Turn 2's got a brand new curb after all the modifications to the racetrack, the updates, and then you have the section out of the hairpin up over the hill there. I mean, there's some very character building areas on the race circuit, and for someone that hasn't been here before, well, he's proving that he's got to grips with it really, really well. So looking forward to see how he handles it off the front row and how much pressure he comes under.
We're away. Walton got a good jump, and alongside him, so did Jeff Spencer. As a matter of fact, it looks like it might be Spencer who's going to lead them through one way, 4 wide at the back of the grid, 3 wide through the middle.
Well, that's Handley. I think it just had a bit of a moment there, touching another vehicle using the curb. Walton has jumped over every bit of the concrete and has managed to take the lead onto the back straight, using every bit. 3 wide through turn 2, turn 3. I've never seen that before, but, you know, the Utes, they do produce some interesting new lines around racetracks.
Well, it's the Aussie out front.
He's done that well, defending a little bit down into the new section. Oh, a massive lock-up on the outside. Managed to get the wheel turning again.
He's done well to pull that up.
He has done very well to pull that up. As you can see, some of these cars, some of the Utes have already got a fair bit of panel damage carried over from a previous race earlier today.
That was Mike Lightfoot getting a little bit crossed up at the back there. Possibly got the best nickname out there, Buzz Lightfoot. I like that. Not that you want a Lightfoot in the Ute.
He has absolutely given them a bit of a thumping at the moment, Chris Walton. He's got a good lead coming around the last section of the V. As you can see the bumps as they go through. Up over the mountain, as we call it, which is not much of a mountain, but still using all the track.
That looked like Brett right out in the weeds. Hold on tight.
Yeah, he's managed to lose a spot there by running wide. Very easy to drag, though, any vehicle. We've seen a lot of V8 Supercars this weekend using that little bit extra road, which drags them then onto the grass, and it can be very, very costly.
So Handley's trying desperately to pick off a few races, but he's struggling at the moment. Hasn't been flying through the field like we thought he would. He's only picked off a couple.
Yeah, the brother, Holden Commodore Utes, he's moved up to 7th. I think he might have grabbed another spot, so got a few laps to do it. Not the longest race, but...
Hamish
Cross. Big lock-up down the outside. He's managed to pull that off, though. Got the wheels turning again in the BNT Ute.
Well, those few corners, 5, 6, and 7, were designed for that, for guys to be able to stick to the outside, multiple corners. Here he goes up the inside. Hamish Cross on a move here.
He is on a move. Yeah, exactly. They made the width there through turn 5, which has allowed. I've seen a lot of guys go down the outside, or those that have been getting past manage to stay on the outside through 5, putting them back on the inside for turn 6, and then the race goes all the way to the hairpin.
What a section of racetrack this is, Murph. Oh, we've got one out the
well, there's another one running a little bit wide using the green stuff as well as the black stuff. That leads Chris Handley through to another spot. But we saw
Rob Gibson getting very sideways.
We saw Peter Ward there too. And they're putting a lot of pressure on Jeff Spencer. He's just backed off slightly there, lost a bit of ground. But Hamish Cross, He's been pretty aggressive down through that other section. Oh, actually, yeah, Wardy.
Yeah, it's him slowing.
He's actually got a problem, so that's probably explains why he lost a bit of ground there. Something's gone on, not quite sure. It looks maybe left front.
Yeah, it looks like it's on a bit of a tilt and a slant over to the left-hand side. So problems for the man they call Chaos.
Chris Hanley's moved up another couple of spots. So he started in that grid 9 position. Cross around the outside again. Clearly, he doesn't mind blocking the right front at all. It's paying off for him.
These Dunlops are getting some serious punishment at the hands or the foot of Hamish Cross. Big dive bomb up the inside once more.
Rhea Rudd's just been shoved out. He's been pushed right out over the curb onto the grass. He won't be happy about that. That gives Hamish Cross a little bit of an opportunity to get a run.
That was Rob Gibson trying to make up a few spots. James Urquhart on the outside. Has Cross got a problem?
Yeah, Cross has got a problem. That thing is slowed. Urquhart's trying to squeeze his way through.
Oh, no.
He's giving it a tap. These boys teaching each other a few lessons. Number 21, Jeff Kernahan got a run there. It is all on, but Hamish Cross pulling off at the back. Something's gone wrong with his Falcon, and looks like his day is done.
What a shame. He was on an absolute charge. James Urquhart in the 10 was one of the original drivers in the series when it started back in 2008. Had a top 2 finish in the first round of the day, starting near the front. And that was Peter Robb getting a little bit sideways.
Yeah, I think he was getting a little bit of a helping hand there from Jeff Kernahan.
2 Kernahans going line astern. This is turn 5, a blind entry to this corner. Finding a braking marker could be difficult there, Murph.
Well, it's been a big change. Obviously, this section of the track adjusted. These 2 corners, brand spanking new, put into the circuit for safety reasons, but also on the hope that it's going to add to the racing excitement here at Pukekohe Park. And so far, certainly the V8 Utes, it's worked for them. The excitement has been, as usual, fairly action-packed. So, yeah, put in there to slow the cars down. Obviously, Pukekohe very synonymous with that back straight. An awesome bit of circuit down there, and the braking area, obviously very large. But the safety concerns we had were that there wasn't enough runoff for the supercars, and therefore we've had those extra turns 5 and 6 thrown into the mix, which has worked incredibly well. Here we go, Rob. Getting a little bit of push.
That's Dave Kernahan doing the pushing. That's just bump drafting, corner style in the Utes.
Just going, come on, mate, move it along. We've got a race to try and win here.
Just unload him a little bit. Good old bump and run.
Just a little bit. See, the thing is, he had plenty of room on the outside.
And Rob's got it all crossed up out of 4, trying to collect it. This is Peter Ward, unfortunately, in pit lane. Okay.
Hanley.
This is what we're expecting.
Yep, puts the brother Ute up into P2 with that move.
It's Jeff Spencer that he's got in front of. This guy's on an absolute charge. He's won 6 out of the 8 races so far, I think, so far this season. But as Murph alluded to earlier, this is not a points-paying race.
But Chris Walter has shown them a clean pair of heels. He has gone. He is actually still on the track as far as we know.
Well, he's 7 seconds up.
But he has absolutely caned him in this one, setting a very impressive lap time, a 17.5 on his way on the last lap.
Out of turn 11. Murph, give us an idea of how much speed we're carrying through this part of the racetrack as we go down to turn 1.
Well, in a Ute, probably not as much as you do in a supercar, but it is one of my favourite corners up over the top of the hill there at Pukekohe. Yeah, the cars are incredibly loaded, heavily laterally loaded, as much as you'll find just about anywhere. And you are searching for every single little bit of grip you can possibly gather. Getting on the throttle is key to a good run, obviously, down to turn 1. So, you know, searching for full throttle as early as you possibly can. And that's why we do see so many cars drifting that little bit wide, using a little bit extra in the grass. That's what we've seen. Because they are so keen to get on the throttle and carry that speed. But just a superb combination of corners through turns 9, 10, 11, up over the hill, down the front straight. And, you know, the top speed down the front is actually a little bit more in a supercar than what it is down the back. So a superb combination of corners, as I said, that every race driver that I know just loves competing on. So Jeff Spencer, he's under a little bit more pressure, started from the front row.
I've got to say, this has been surprisingly clean for the Utes. We saw him banging door handles in the first one, but maybe they've just sorted it out a little bit.
Putting on a good show for the fans, though. But Jeff's, he's going to have to watch his mirrors here. Rob Spencer's going to try and position himself very, very soon. Ducking and diving. Trying to force him into making a mistake. Too wide.
Oh, you got
what are we going to do here? Oh, he's giving him room. He's giving him room.
He's not going to catch this, surely.
Jeff gave him some room. He didn't need to do it.
Wow.
And Rod Gibson has still not managed to find a way past. The blinkers are going. And Spencer's car. I don't know if he's signalling to go past or he's saying, sorry about that, mate. I was a bit out of shape.
Just from hands flying around everywhere inside the driver compartment. It's built up a bit of a train. We've got Rudd in the 99 who's queued onto this one. Oh, that's taking liberties with the curves.
Well, I don't think he used the track.
And it's Lightfoot at the back of this four.
Gibson's got a very unique line through turn 5. It involves not using the black stuff at all. He's run wide here, though. He's put it in the dirt. Will Rudd get through? I think he's going to. Yes, he has to. He's got the momentum. Oh, he's on the outside. Well, there you go. Didn't see that one coming. I thought he was definitely going to use a spot there, but
Lightfoot dumps it through as well, so Rudd goes back one. Gibson holds on.
Here we go. Replay. Spencer saw him coming. He gave him a bit of room. Missed his apex by a country mile. Locked the inside front. Got it sideways. How he managed to hang on to that, I'm not sure. Great slow-mo.
We've seen a few of the supercar drivers getting caught out there this weekend.
Look at the real wheel over the curb. The suspension in that Commodore Ute getting a bit of extra work that it didn't need.
What's that like in the car? Are you feeling that through the wheel?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, especially in these cars that are really based around a road-going vehicle, and hot it up to go to the racetrack. Our leader, Chris Walton, had a pretty easy one out front. There we go. There's this shot of second place coming up. There's Hamish Cross slowly moving around. There is Chris Hanley, our second place driver. But
oh no, what was that? I saw Hamish Cross slowing over the right-hand side, and I freaked out thinking that it was Chris Walton.
Here he comes. Here he comes now. It's a superb drive from the front, but he's set the fastest lap by a country mile and wins this one easily over Chris Hanley.
It was worth his trip across the Tasman. Chris Walton, Rookie of the Year last year in the Australian Utes, and he takes a comfortable victory. The two Chris's leading this one home, and the battle for third is still raging, but Jeff Spencer did a very good job to hang on to that one because the boys behind him were getting very, very excited. Well, that was worth it. The UDC V8 Utes from New Zealand. Chris Walton, the Australian, makes the trip over and takes the win.